Hey y'all, and welcome to Getting Deep with Deep. I'm your host Deep Desai, and today I'm going to talk to you about MTS, multiple tank syndrome, and not Malaysian trumpet snails. How I got it, and what am I doing now? So it all started with helping out my fiance's close friend. She wanted to get back into the hobby. Sorry, she wanted to get back into the hobby and get a beta, right? And so I suggested get a 5 gallon at least because it was the first tank. And so she got a half moon beta 5 gallon tank. And she wanted not natural plants, so we ended up getting her some fake plants and doing all of that, right? So now, after my fiance saw all of that, she's like, oh, you know what, I'd like to do something nice for myself too. And I saw this 2.5 gallon on marketplace at that moment, which was being sold for, like, I think it was really cheap, $15 or something of that sort. And I said, well, a 2.5 gallon for that cheap is a good price, because you can still do something with it. So she ended up getting the 2.5 gallon. And I mean, she didn't immediately get into it. We took some time with it, and she did a whole scape for that with a nice background, a terrarium background modified. So we cut that down to size, added cement on the back and all of that. That's a separate video for that. But yeah, she got it with that, started with that. And then I was like, you know what? I want to propagate some of the plants that I have in my tank and maybe start breeding these shrimp. They're doing well in my tank. Maybe they will start breeding well in the tub as well. And having done my research already and been watching a lot of content, I have seen a lot of people breed fish, breed shrimp in these big 5 gallon tubs, right? So I said, okay, I got a 5 gallon tub. I started that, put my plants, propagated it with clippings, and I had ceramic weights. So I weighed down with ceramic weights. I added floating plants, added the shrimp, cycled filter, heater, everything was running. I said, okay, cool, let's let it go. And unfortunately, that did not work. The plants did kind of grow, but I didn't even have a plant light. I didn't even have a proper light. I had one of those Aquion lid lights that come with like two or three LED lights. That's it. So of course it wasn't going to do great, right? And unfortunately, I did not feed frequently. I was under the assumption, oh, they should be fine with the plants. They should be having enough of food and they will start breeding. That didn't work. But anyway, so I decided I want to restart that as well. Maybe I should get into something else over time. I'm like, maybe I should get a proper 5 gallon and just get a tank. I don't have to get a proper whole setup. I have everything else that I need. I just need a glass 5 gallon, and then I can start doing stuff in that. So then I got into that. I made a little bit of a scape. I mean, not much of a scape. I put gravel in the bottom, sand on the top. I bought off some subwasatang attached to a crate, and hornwood. I got this from a trusted seller on marketplace, and then I started the tank. Once it's quickly cycled, I added my shrimp. I bought some blue dream shrimp from Shrimp Fever, beautiful color, and I started it. And let's see how. Sorry, not blue dream, blue diamond. Sorry, blue dreams are much lighter. I got blue diamond shrimp, and I said, okay, let's let that go. And then I got the feel for wanting a bigger tank. I said, "Listen, hun," to my fiance. I said, "Now we have a 5.5. We can have something bigger in this space, don't you think?" And she did agree eventually. And then I started looking for tanks, and I found this 20 gallon hexagonal. It's called, I think, Captivate. It's Top Fin or Aquion. It's called Captivate 20 gallon, right? And I saw someone selling it for $60 with the filter, the heater, some of the blue gravel and stuff that they use, some of the decorations as well that they used, one of those resin ones. And I said, yeah, sure, I don't want the stuff, but if they were willing to sell it all together, I said, okay, $60, perfect. That's a great price, for all of this. It's great. I bought that off over time. Then slowly I started buying sand, some rocks again. I bought other kind of wood off Amazon that had like 3 pieces that were going to be medium, and I thought maybe I could build off that. But then I bought this again online as well from a plant source that I bought all these plants from, right? and unfortunately, even that wood, it's not that big. I wanted a centerpiece, a big centerpiece, like a tree trunk almost falling and rooting down, right? But this turned out to be good, great, to be honest. Not even just good, it turned out to be great. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting it, but turned out to be much better. I have a beta in here. I have three guppies, cardinal tetras, my chilies that were in my 5.5. I moved them in here. They're really small. There's only 7 to 8 of them. That's no big buy load either. One lemon blue-eyed pleco. Anyway, so I got this tank, and I said, okay, that's great. But now I have guppies. I'm like, okay, now that I have guppies, I'm gonna want to grow out the babies. I know it's a community tank and they're all gonna be eaten. So then I said, okay, great. I have the 5.5 gallon glass that is, I mean, the 5.5 gallon shrimp tank that's running. I can grow out the babies in that. I said, okay, great. So now I can do that. Just as we do that, then another friend of my fiance's found out about my hobby, and I made a video about that where she wanted me to rescue her guppies and take her existing 20 gallon. And I said, oh well, first I didn't even know it was a 20 gallon. When I found out, I said, my fiance was like, we already don't have space. I said, well, we're already in it. I'm not using the outside space. I'm still using it for the 5.5 gallon because I decided this would be better inside. It's a bit taller. We don't have that much of space outside for the height of it. And so we brought that in. And I was treating my guppies in the quarantine tub that I had set up the tub for the shrimp before. I decided, okay, I can use it as a quarantine tub to treat some of the fish, right? And they're not gonna stay in the tub for too long, right, hon? And I had the 5.5 gallon, the original one, still running. At that point, I had a beta and guppy in there, and guppies in there, and it was still running. And we realized, and my fiance herself realized that 5.5 gallon for all these guppies is not enough, right? So, well, we decided, well, I might as well get a 10 gallon glass, and then I got a 10 gallon glass, and also along with the 20 gallon that my fiance's friend had given, she also gave us a 2.5 gallon, similar to what my fiance started a shrimp tank as. A couple of 1 gallons that is not going to be used at all. That probably will be used to either catch some baby fish and stuff. I'm not going to use 1 gallons on anyone. But yeah, I set that 2.5 gallon up for Axel the beta in the original 5.5. There's a lot of gallons and a lot of going on, but basically, keeping all that in mind, I have two 2.5 gallons. I have two 5.5 gallons running as guppy grow out tanks and shrimp breeding tanks. I also have my pygmy cories in there. Now, I don't think my pygmy cories are pair. I think they're both male. I just hoped maybe they would do good in there. I mean, they didn't really like to be in with the guppies in the beta anyway, so I moved them in there as well. So I have these two 5.5, two 2.5s. Now I have two 20s, this one and the 20 tall, which is outside and has another scape going on in it. It is currently mid-cycling. I have already cycled it. Everything is perfect, but I'm still getting fish for it. I still have some in there. And now I have this, 10 gallon. So that's two 20s, two 5.5s, that's 4, two 2.5s, that's 6, and that's a 7. So that's how you get multiple tank syndrome. You start with one 5.5 gallon and you think everything is great. But no, it gets to you. I knew it was going to get to me. I always wanted more tanks. I didn't have the space originally. I moved in with my fiance, and even then we didn't have much space. But somehow I convinced her and made space, and here we are with 7 tanks. So thank you all for watching. That's my multiple tank syndrome story. I hope you all enjoyed that, found it funny, or relate to it, because I know a lot of you do have multiple tank syndrome. I know you're there. Don't be hiding. But yeah, I hope it helped. If you have any questions, you have any comments, do let me know in the comments below. Do subscribe if you enjoy the content. Do hit a like. It does help me in a lot of ways. So thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great one, and see you on in the next one.